something was just pulling at me to just comb out my locks and to experience my loose natural hair. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I thought I would do a chit-chatty type of video because I have been getting a couple of questions still from people asking why I cut off my locks or why I combed them out or got rid of them if I'm getting locks back. If you've been here for a while, you know my whole story, but maybe you don't know my story. Okay, so why did I cut my locks? The number one overall reason was that I needed a change. I had had locks for a total of 18 years. I'm 30 now, so more than half of my life I had locks. My first lock set I got when I was 10, and I wore locks for 14 years. I'm going to try and include pictures so that you can see my journey. 14 years into my lock journey, I was experiencing postpartum hair loss. I had also cut off a bunch of hair because I bleached my locks so many times, so it was really damaged. I decided to cut off that lock set. I wore a TWA for about a year, and loose natural hair wasn't for me at that time, so I decided to get locked again. I got a second set of locks, which was micro locks. My first set, I had about 250 locks. They were a lot bigger, and my second set, I had nearly 600. I started with exactly 577 locks, and then when I repaired the perimeter of my hair, I had about 590. So I had pretty much 600 locks. And that lock set, my second lock set, was gorgeous. I loved the size because of how it looked and how full it looked. But over time, I realized that the reties that I did every 6 to 7 weeks was just taking so much of my time. I didn't really like that. I didn't like the fact that I had to retie so many locks. I honestly started to dread my reties. And that's not just because of the size of locks I had, but also just because I was growing out of locks. I felt like they didn't represent me anymore. When I combed out the perimeter of my hair to get them reinstalled smaller to kind of fix what was going on with postpartum hair loss, I realized that my curl pattern is gorgeous. I hadn't really been familiar with my curl pattern because when I had my TWA, when I cut it off the first time after my first lock set, I wasn't really paying attention to my hair. I was just thinking of my hair growing long enough so I could get my second set of locks. So when I combed out the perimeter of my hair and I saw my curl pattern, I was like, this is what my hair looks like. And I kind of fell in love with my curl pattern, and that planted a seed in my mind. This was not pre-planned. It was when I combed out the perimeter of my locks, it planted a seed. And then from there, I just kept thinking, what if I combed out my locks? What if I combed out my locks? Over and over and over again. And I'm the type of person, once I get an idea in my head that I want to do, it just sticks with me. And if I don't actually pursue it, it's just going to keep nagging and I'm just going to keep thinking about it. So I knew that I had to comb them out. I didn't want to cut them off because I wanted to see how much length I retained and to see what my hair looked like kind of long. I started having these feelings like 3 years and 9 months. And by 4 years, I knew that I was over my lock journey. Everything is on my channel, but I started to comb out my locks. And this was after I experienced the bob. I cut my locks into a bob, and I planned to do the bob before I even thought of combing out my locks. This was like way pre-planned from I think back when I was 3 years locked. I always knew that when it was longer, I wanted to cut it into a bob. So I know some people were saying, oh, you cut your locks into a bob, that means you're gonna comb it out. The bob that I was planning was already planned before that seed was planted. And before I was even thinking about combing out the perimeter, before I even thought of combing out my locks, I was already planning to get a bob and dye it black. Like, I had been wanting to do that since like earlier. Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that. It's not like the biggest deal. I'm sure you didn't feel misled or whatever, but the bob was pre-planned. I knew I wanted to experience that and I loved it. Like, if you have an itch to change your hair if you have locks, I highly recommend just cutting your locks into a blunt bob. It's the cutest thing, and I thought it was so much fun. But that was not the path that I was meant to stay on. As much as I love the bob, it was a very short period of time that I experienced the bob. Something was just pulling at me to just comb out my locks and to experience my loose natural hair. And I'm so glad I did. I do not regret it at all. That's another question I've gotten. Do I regret combing out my locks? Do I miss my locks? I love to look back at pictures and videos, and I'm happy that I documented my lock journey so well. But honestly, I don't miss my locks. I don't want to go back to locks anytime soon. Like, I'm not planning to go back to locks. So I hope that answers that question. I'm sure some of you ladies will be able to understand that feeling of the hairstyle that you have no longer representing you or feeling like you. I felt like I had just had locks for so long, and it was such a big part of almost my personality. It's like locks were attached to me. I felt like they represented me and my personality the best before. But now it's like my loose hair is representing me right now. Like, this is how I feel. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but yeah, I think it's more than just, oh, I'm tired of locks. There's a reason why I felt drawn to comb out my locks and experience my loose natural hair. And I'm telling you, if something is nagging or pulling at you to do something with your hair, and this is coming from someone who, my entire YouTube channel it started with locks. It started with locks, like, what was it, over a decade ago? It started with locks, and it was always about locks. My channel has always been about locks. When I had my hair out for a little bit, it was about loose natural hair, but it was more focused on getting my locks back, like prepping my hair, getting my hair ready and growing for my next lock set. And let's talk about my channel. So the YouTube algorithm is really, really working against me. I know that for years I've posted content about locks, so YouTube sees that I'm posting content about loose natural hair, and it's not pushing out the content because the people who are subscribed to me, let's be real, they didn't subscribe for loose natural hair content. They subscribe for locked content, which I totally get. And I got backlash for combing out my locks, a lot of people unfollowing me. I'm not gonna let that dictate my hair. Like, this is social media. And it's not discouraging me, I wouldn't say that, but I'm having a lot of fun on TikTok right now. So I say all of this to say, my YouTube channel will be slowing down just a little bit for a number of reasons. It's summertime, I wanna have more time with my kids, and just, I wanna have fun with the content I'm posting. And this right now, I love talking to the camera. I've always, since I was a little girl, the camera comes out and I'm sleeping, the camera comes out and all of a sudden I'm awake and I'm posing. Like, that's just me, that's how I've always been. So even if I'm talking to one person, I still think it's fun just to create content. That's honestly how I feel. Yeah, but it just doesn't feel like the right time to be spending so much time on YouTube, because short form vertical content, it's a really fast turnover. But sit down, long form content, i.e. YouTube, it does take longer to produce, to edit, and to get out there. There's so many things that I see from my channel, but I just don't think it's possible to do right now. I would love to do cozy vlogs in the future, but I'm not in a place where I'm comfortable doing that right now. So there's a lot that I want to do that I can't do right now. And to be honest, I'm not feeling super excited about YouTube right now, but I'm having a lot of fun on TikTok. And I never thought I would say that. So what will that look like for my channel? I didn't post a video. I skipped last week's video because I post every Friday at 2 p.m. usually. So I don't know when my next video will be. Yeah, I'm gonna be taking things back. I'm not gonna be posting every week, that's what I'll say. I don't know what my schedule will be, but I won't be posting as frequently. I will be doing big milestones, like my 6-month Big Chop update is coming up. When are you watching this? Yeah, it's coming up this month in June. So I will be posting that. Oh yeah, and possibly a mini twist install with extensions, or maybe without, we'll see. But I do wanna get my hair into a protective style for the summer months, which would be like 4 weeks in mini twists, take them out, give my hair a break, 4 weeks in mini twist again. That's my plan. After that one video for sure, and that second mini twist install video tentatively, it's gonna be super relaxed on YouTube. I'll just be posting when I really, really feel like showing you guys something, or when I have a big milestone with my hair to show you. I know for sure in August, I'm gonna be doing a silk press, or fluffy silk press, whatever you wanna call it. And I'm gonna be testing out a new straightener and dusting my ends because I dust my ends every 3 months. I will still be around. I'll be on TikTok, I'll be on Instagram sometimes because it's not my favorite platform, and then YouTube Shorts as well. But I would say mainly on TikTok, but I'll still be around. I'll be on Instagram stories. I'll try to post more on Instagram stories as well. That is pretty much the update for my channel. I don't really have anything else to say. I hope that everything made sense, like explaining everything with my lock journey. I just did this really cute style. I'm learning to part and everything, so I'm trying to practice. But I just did some flat twists because I can't cornrow. I did flat twists, and then this is a twist out back here. That is it for this video. I will be seeing you maybe like the 3rd week of June. So it's not goodbye, that's so dramatic, but I will be seeing you in a couple of weeks. I hope that you guys enjoy your summer, go out, have fun, and of course spend time with family. That's it for this video. I will be seeing you soon. Bye.